And then I'd make a noise and we went round like that and it was very free flow and we got some nice music going and we've got a bit of a structure now for the performance.
So yeah, we basically started to get the kind of structure of the thing set up. So we've got a few parts. So the call and response part, that's kind of a really nice intro and it's not exactly timed, it's like quite nice and free. We're going to then add some sound effects and things in around that and make it all beautiful. Alright, so what I think we should do as well, just so that we're not playing for too long, because we did go through it quite quickly yesterday, we did take quite a while. Let's play the sections a little bit shorter this time, yeah? So we'll just slowly sort of move you into the next one. So the call and response bit, we'll just get into it quite quickly.
So the idea of this piece is that we're creating an immersive environment for the audience. So the piece is performed in the round, so the audience can move 360 degrees around the piece and also be able to kind of look up close at what the performers are kind of controlling and actually doing throughout the piece. They are controlling both the audio and the visual, and the piece is inspired from Papplewick pumping station and the whole of the steam mechanisms that exist there. So the huge movements and the idea of also water being pumped through these kind of really vast pumping systems and the movement of the pistons. So that's why we have this kind of central area of an LED array that moves through the space, and then the performers are based at each end of that. So they're able to kind of push and pull both light and sound back and forth between those two performative groups.
Both Beck and I went over to Papplewick. They very kindly kind of pre-steamed it for us before an open day, so it meant that we were able to go in before the kind of general public were there and really get in and sample a lot of the sounds from the space, but also, you know, kind of take inspiration from the different types of movements there. Like as Beck mentioned, you've got these huge arms, they're absolutely massive kind of mechanisms, but then even down to the tiny little counters that are in there and the kind of the array of different sounds that you get from that. It's been really interesting to play with, particularly in this kind of space, again, in the round, working on a kind of spatial sort of sound setup.
The project started, I was at the old library and I was asked by someone if I was willing to take part. And I said definitely, because working with musicians with disability or needing to include others is definitely something I'm into, and I've always advocated for wanting to make music as accessible as possible, so I definitely wanted to take part. And the concept of this project is to make an event available where musicians of varying abilities and or additional need requirements can come together and play music and have the confidence to play music without having the pressure of being in front of a massive audience. And I think the project really scales things to the needs of the musicians. I think it's really great that we can involve the orchestra players as well from Sinfonia Viva, and yeah, that's basically the concept of the project for me, is to open music up to a wider audience, really. I think these projects are majorly important because a lot of people may well not be like me, proactively looking for stuff to do. Music is a very open doorway. From my own personal experience, getting involved with Inspire Youth Arts was the best thing I've probably ever done for my career. I've had the ability to work with professional orchestra players. I've had the ability to work with professional sound engineers, music producers, to help compose and record a coherent body of work. So yeah, definitely I really think it's been a good project.
We're serving the people that we're kind of aiming to serve, as in we're setting up a performance that is inclusive and is accessible, and it's got kind of that kind of sensory element to it. Just even this one, people being able to move around the space and find the area that they're comfortable in and kind of find the soundscape and the kind of lighting setup that works for them.
This is really cool because it's sort of a new Able Orchestra performance. In the past we've been very traditional, whereas this takes a whole nother aspect because it's going to be very more immersive, and people are going to be able to walk around the space, and it's going to be quite dark, and then Beck and Anime are going to have the visual side of stuff. So hopefully this will feel like a much more involved piece. It's not just start to finish, there'll be a lot of different elements going on, and hopefully you'll feel that in the space, and yeah, you'll walk away amazed.